Hola, muy lovers. I want to try something. I just realized I put the kettle on. It's gonna scream at your airwaves. All right, so I'm MJ. I'm the founder of All to Love. What I'm going to try to do is actually record a reading for all y'all lovers on the internet, YouTube, Babadure, and right here. So, hello, it's MJ. I'm recording live on YouTube, and I'm also making a video for Instagram. So it's Thursday, and I'm doing this share today because the weekend's going to get a little bit hectic over here. Nothing serious, just a fun festival. And for the first time in about 6 or 7 years, I've actually booked a ticket and I'm just going to go for fun. Normally I go to festivals because I'm teaching yoga at them. Okay, so my intention with the cards is to offer you divine guidance and loving clarity. And I mean it, divine guidance and loving clarity. I'm intuitive. I've been listening and following the good old intuition since about 2001, lovers. 2001, I heeded the call to travel and I packed a bag and I've never really returned home in that way. So divine guidance and love and clarity for the weekend ahead. This is July 14th, 15th, 16th. I'm recording it right here, hella, on July 13th. So happy birthday to all the cancers out there. I've got like a whole bunch of cancers in my life, and they all have like back-to-back birthdays, which is interesting. Part of the reason for the fun celebratory festival vibes this weekend is because it's his birthday. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my lovers. For some of you, you're going to be kind of maybe breaking free from a dynamic Six of Wands, feeling successful after turning your back on Knight of Wands reverse, like somebody in and out, non-committal, somebody that maybe you felt like you had to jump through hoops for. They're also going in a different direction. You're going in a direction. The Seven of Wands here is making me think like a feat of strength, but interestingly, this character has a tattoo with the word love on his chest. So there's a feat. I feel like maybe you're going to move towards somebody who like wants to put the effort in. There's a Five of Pentacle over yonder as well. So yeah, there's a I'm seeing a Five of Cups on down here as well. So there's a Five of Cups and a Five of Pentacle, which is just sort of telling me that whoever you're dealing with or yourself, you're, maybe a bit sad. Are you guys sad? I don't want you to be sad. But I mean, we all get sad. That's just life, isn't it? Divine guidance, loving clarity, divine guidance. Yeah, I think for some of you guys, it's like you're really like seeing through your past cycles. That's why maybe your life or your dating life or your romantic life could be, or just, yeah, it's love here. So it feels romantic, or it feels, what's the word? Maybe like empowering, because you're seeing through the phrase, like that thing of, seeing red flags, but ignoring them because of some hellish exam. But then this is you going, no, it's like having peace with yourself. As simple as that. So it's like, you're making peace with your past cycles, and turning your back, moving towards success for people, and or surrounding yourself with a person, or certainly like the lover vibratory of somebody who can put the work in, somebody who wants to like, yeah. And this 7 of Wands here, I'm thinking that it's that circusy vibe of the strongest man, or the whatever. And this is just like somebody who's going to maybe break free from confinement, and again, do the work. It could be you going towards greater success and putting the work into a dynamic. Just be aware of that 5 of Pentacles. I'm kind of getting the sense of like, I've heard a reader say the 5 of Pentacles, like, don't draw attention to your weaknesses, or just be aware of, although I'm somebody who's like, truth is, like, I don't think we ought to be lying or deceiving in relationships. And yet often we all do. We put on an image, it's kind of all these double-edged swords of like, regardless of what image we put out there, it's not like everybody's going to like us anyway. And hence where it's like, you want to come back to yourself and really, really love and appreciate yourself, and just completely trust that the right people will come along at the right time. And sometimes it's painful and sometimes it's joyful. And, I would say, and I prefer this point of attraction, but I genuinely believe the majority of us are truly doing the best that we can with the awareness, wisdom, blah, blah, that we have access to, or that we have integrated. It's not to say to repeatedly make excuses for bad behavior. Sometimes we need to let those people go, or let those situations die. And it's not about accepting their bad behavior. It's about accepting how it made you feel, and then moving on if you don't want to keep feeling a certain way, especially if somebody's making you jump through hoops just to hang out or just to see them, right? So the 6 of Wands is you being like, off I go on my merry way. Off I go. And now it's like, yeah, you're wanting to attract people that put the work in. This 7 of Wands is somebody, I feel like, this is that this energy of like putting on a show. Look at me. I am man. I am strong, and this is like, and this is just somebody who's strong. So there's not like, they're not going to be out of character. They're going to be able to, So be aware of, this is interesting energy. This is making me think of the grass is greener. So just be aware of, I guess like rebound, that vibratory. Be aware of somebody maybe rebounding with you, or because they're coming out of some stagnation. They're coming out of Hanged Man. Again, you can reverse the roles, right? But somebody's coming out of this Hanged Man. They want a new love. They want to move to calmer waters, but that 5 of something's a bit blocked with regards to truly moving. So you or somebody else is about to, or have been going through a tower moment. Towers are out of our control. All right. So towers are things that obviously totally affect our livelihoods. And so, for example, getting an eviction notice, or I, for example, had a situation years ago that was quite traumatizing. My mother was detained and deported in immigration, kind of unlawfully, but like having the people at the border like take her away and say, you cannot come visit your daughter. And then at that point, not knowing when she'd be back. So that to me is like a tower moment. You're going on a certain trajectory, and these forces that are completely out of your control change the game, right? And then once the tower comes down, that's the like, okay, once the dust settles, flattening the ground and figuring out what to do with that new ground. So in a sense, the tower moment is fantastic, but when it comes to what you're moving toward in the game of love, or life of love, whatever, somebody here who wants to show you a feat of strength could be going through a tower moment, or maybe you're both going through a tower moment. And a lot of it is this thing of like, like a rebound, like, well, let's just have some fun, or let's move to calmer waters. But that doesn't, it's this thing of like the grass isn't always greener. So if you're trying to like sort of escape yourself by going on dates or something, I don't think that's going to work. There's still a little bit of inner conflict here. For some of you, there could still be a bit of healing, and straight up just like, it's almost like watering your flowers, yo. It's like that thing of when you're an outsider or a friend and somebody's really down in the dumps and you're there like holding the space, and eventually you're like, well, you know, it is sad and it is poo-poo and it is way, but like at some point we have to figure out how to navigate out of those energies, right? And so often just a walk or smelling a rose or sometimes like cold water therapy, but straight up legit, sometimes just doing nice things for other people is a really great way to lift ourselves out of some kind of toxic depression. And when I say a toxic depression, I mean this sort of like wallowing and feeding our own victimhood rather than accepting we're all victims at times, but we all have to find a way to heal and move on and learn a lesson or whatever the F. Or just like sometimes people are shitty. We're all shitty sometimes. So let's just accept that, dust ourselves off, saying, carry on, carry on. Yeah. For those of you that were dealing with this Knight of Wands reverse, they probably like had loads of different peeps they were dating. Be patient on the love horizon, my lovers, because it's like there's a wheel of fortune turning, and then there's the situation you're flying into that might not go to plan, as far as like moving to calmer waters, new beginning not happening. This new beginning's not happening, and it's probably because you're the person you're dealing with just isn't stable. Like there isn't some sure footing, or one of you is maybe blinded by the illusions of like you've been through a messy breakup and you think that just getting in another relationship is going to sort it out. That's not usually how it works, is it? I mean, on the illusion side, we're like, oh yeah, look at me, I found somebody new. But these subtleties of the patterns that repeat themselves are maybe, I mean, that was one thing about my own insight or my own awareness, is that I could see that from a very young age, that the person might have been different, or the job, or the amount of money, or the blah, blah, blah. But like there's an underlying pattern that was limited or being exhibited that like the person couldn't see. It's like, what? This Bobby Joe is different. And you're like, no, but the way you're reacting, responding, and talking and is the same towards that person. And that's something to really notice. Like the way people talk about their exes, or the way people talk about other people in their lives, especially if they're not trying to like improve, if they're just blanketing and slamming people, especially when the people that they're talking about aren't in the room, and the people that they're talking to that person about don't know that person. That's like that weird triangulation, or just people that want to control narrative. So people that have massive control issues and are just not that maybe kind and feel entitled to just, and especially when we're getting into a relationship with somebody or choosing to, if I remember this, it's like if somebody gossips a lot and talks about other people, and that's a pattern of behavior, imagine what they might say when you're not in the room. Imagine how they might talk about you when you're not around. And those are things to notice, right? Those are things to just, and there are subtleties and discernment to all this stuff, right? Because again, when we're sharing something that's off skis because we're wanting to find a solution, it's different. When we're in patterns of behavior of just talking smack about people, because it makes us feel powerful, that's usually the purpose of gossip trails, is that the people who gossip about other people have nothing better to do, and or they genuinely don't feel that great about themselves. And so the way they make themselves feel better is by putting other people down, usually people they don't know, or usually people that they might think they know but they actually know nothing about, as far as like how they're living their lives and their day-to-day, right? So hell Shazam. Little rant with the that card came through the other day. Feline. Simple. Some of you guys might get a cat or a dog. Some of you might get a dog. I was thinking about getting myself a little puppy the other day, and then no. Yeah, I think the situation coming in, okay, it's not gonna like, it's not super duper romantic, but so just be aware that there's somebody coming in that could mirror you really well. And I always think that people that mirror us really well are going to be opportunities. And this is everybody. It's like the Yoga Sutra. Recognize the other is you. So when we start doing earnest reflective work, it's just pretty relentless and deep, and trust that you're on the path to healing core wounds, right? That the person you love the most and are attracted to the most or want to give everything to, they're going to be the ones that treat you in a way that trigger your most deepest feelings of neglect and trauma and abandonment and shame. And then eventually you'll be like, and then want to leave. So anywho, once you've cleared the shame, obviously, once you've cleared that and you recognize it's not who you are, it's just energies that are harboring in the bod. Okay, so let's just close up this reading. Again, you're probably moving away from one thing into another, but what you're moving toward might not be what you think. The person is possibly going through a tower moment, and or upon meeting them, it triggers a bit of a denouement, a bit of a unfolding within your or their situation that is a bit of a tower moment. It could lead to losses, so just be mindful of that, okay? And at this point, I would just say, keep the faith, keep moving in this direction, like keep moving on the direction that you're moving in. There could be turbulence along the way, but you're definitely moving in an appropriate direction from where you've been. And I wouldn't backtrack. Again, a lot of you have overcome probably some pretty shitty friendship dynamics as well, like people that would betray you, yada, 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 yada. Is there a song? I feel like there's some song that's a yada yada yada. It's just, isn't it funny, like the music that makes it into our airwaves and the popular music that is just people being like yada 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 yada. I'm a genius. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. I hope that you're well, and have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see some of you at the festival. More you lovers. Look after yourself. Love yourself. To thine own self be true. Peace out. Sounds like piss out, doesn't it?